Working Class Beer Reviews is looking at Hillbilly Hammer. You can see that label. This is by Bee's Knees Brewing Company, which is based out of Versailles, Missouri. Yes, they call it Versailles. I know the technical pronunciation is Versailles. You go to Versailles and you say Versailles, they pretty much know you're not from there. So, yeah, this is a Hazy IPA. Versailles, Missouri is a very small town on the way from my town in Sedalia down to Lake of the Ozarks. Now, if you're from the lower Midwest or from the Ozark area, you'll know exactly where Lake of the Ozarks is. It's a man-made lake on the Osage River between Warsaw and Osage Beach. Pretty much provided by two dams. You have Truman Dam at the beginning that dams up the Osage River in Warsaw, and it is owned by the Corps of Engineers, ran by the Corps of Engineers. Truman Lake is, that creates Truman Lake. So the Osage River from down there on creates Lake of the Ozarks, which stops at Bagnell Dam. And Bagnell Dam is owned by whatever the utility company is now, Evergy. It's been all sorts of different things. So I don't know who owns it now or runs it, operates it. This is a 12-ounce can. It's kind of neat. It's got a kind of like a Punisher head with a beard and two little, sledgehammers and a bandana and stuff. So this is actually like a brewery restaurant type place in Versailles, just off the square on Jasper Street, I believe. It's a pretty small town, and I want to say it's the Morgan County seat. It's the county seat of that town. So the only notes they have on it is 6% ABV. Doesn't say the IBUs. Doesn't give you any sort of grain bill or what the hops are or anything like that. But the description, this is probably what's on the menu, like the beer menu when you go to the restaurant. We joined the Haze Craze with the Citrusy aromatic IPA. Local Bare Knuckle Fighting Champion Sam Shewmaker was the inspiration for this beer, so it packs a wallop. And when you look on the can, it says at the very top, Sam Shewmaker. Spelled a little different, SHEWMAKER. It does have a thing on the can that says about Bee's Knees Brewing Company. Bee's Knees Brewing Company has been nestled in the heart of downtown Versailles, Missouri since 2015. Our craft beer is brewed on-site and pairs well with our award-winning pizzas and sandwiches. Being located near the Lake of the Ozarks, we strive to provide a fun and welcoming atmosphere. So this place, it's like a normal brew pub if I had to guess. I've never been there. I've been to Versailles. I've worked in Versailles, delivered to the county jail, Morgan County Jail. So I know about the town, and but I've never been. So 2015, this would have been, well, they would have been there. So I just never delivered there, I guess. I don't know who. I work for U.S. Foods at the moment, but they may get from Springfield Grocer out of Springfield, Missouri, or Cisco, or it could be PFG, Performance Food Groups, who bought out Reinhardt Foods. And I don't know. So it says it's a hazy. Yeah, it is a bit hazy. Kind of looks like a hazy wheat beer, honestly, if you can see it. The head, it dissipated pretty quickly. Didn't completely disappear, but it's mostly gone. Lots of carbonation though, lots of ascending bubbles. Finally got my globe glass back. I was looking for it for a while, and I realized my wife has started using it to transplant a plant that she had. It was a Moses in a boat. So if you're a flower person or a plant person, you might know what a Moses in a boat is. Actually, I can see it from where I'm sitting. But it's one of those where it breaks off and you can just start growing, pieces of it. It grows really easily. So, but I finally got my glass back. I love this thing. I use it for IPAs and stuff like that. I don't know. It's just kind of cool looking. It's probably from like the 70s or maybe 80s for all I know. They're probably like an iced tea glass back then. So yeah, I would say it's probably, the light's going down. It's getting late in the day. Last day of May. Sorry about that. I don't know why I said that. That was stupid of me. Kind of an orangish tangerine color. There's lots of ascending bubbles, so very carbonated. I bought a 6-pack of this. It was, your normal craft beer price, about $10.99. Very aromatic though, in the hoppiness. Sometimes when you get some of these IPAs, it's just not really giving you the aroma you're wanting. It's citrusy. It is, definitely. I think that's what they said. Citrusy aromatic IPA. So yeah, definitely kind of a grapefruit. You ever buy cuties, like those little mandarin oranges? Kind of gives you that kind of smell to it, especially when you're peeling it and you get the oils on your fingers. You kind of get that oiliness from the citrus. Oh, spilled a little bit. Not getting a whole lot of aroma hop wise, or I mean malt wise. So let's give it a taste. Very strong in the citrus flavor, but not like sweet. Which sometimes you get some of these like I had like that mango cart or whatever it was. Ugh, you know what? I guess some sort of like fruity wheat beer, and not even the same style, but it's like it was so sweet. It tasted like that Kern's Jumex nectar fruit stuff. I didn't like it. I didn't care for it. I even tried it on draft. I would definitely try this on. I'll have to, if I ever make it down to Versailles, World War One wasn't didn't end with the Treaty of Versailles, did it? Oh shoot! I would love to try this on draft. Obviously, that would be. I don't even know if it has. It's one of those like sticker labeled cans, which a lot of smaller craft breweries, that's all they really have to do. Brewed and bottled, Bee's Knees Brewing Company, LLC, Versailles, Missouri. They have a QR code, probably takes you to their social media. I'm sure they have a Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, maybe, I don't know. But they definitely, if you Google them, they have a website. So beesknees.com, I'm guessing. Bee's Knees Brewing Company.com, it doesn't even say on here. Which is weird. Maybe that's what the QR code. Maybe I should hold that up. Maybe you can pause it, focus on that QR code, and you can find the website. Don't say I didn't try to help you out. It's delicious though. I really like it. 6% for an IPA. It's not quite into the double IPA territory, so it's a stronger single regular IPA. You get into closer to 7% and up, that's your DIPA territory, your double IPA. I found a beer company out of California. They call it Hazy DIPA. I'm like, oh, I'm going to start saying that from now on. Actually, one of them, I think it's, the Newt's, something, it has a newt on it, like a salamander type thing. I took the label off. I thought it was so cool because it had these like chanterelle mushrooms and stuff. I put it on the back of my Jeep where the rust is coming through. As a patch. I don't know. I know it's kind of goofy, but that's just me. So this Hillbilly Hammer, this label is very indicative of what it's like in Missouri, middle Missouri. To be a hillbilly, to be a redneck, is not a slur. That people just, they live it. They live it, they own it. They don't care. We had some people visit even from southern Missouri up to central Missouri, and they're like, we can't believe how many people wear cowboy boots and stuff. And you'd think that for like Texas and Oklahoma or something, but like mid-Missouri, there's a lot of like country people around here. I'm not a country person myself. I consider myself a small town boy. Grew up in this area, the larger majority of my life. But I've never was identified myself as a country boy. I actually didn't even like country music for the largest portion of my life. I've become a little softer to it now. The older stuff, not so much the new stuff. If the message is nice, I'm not all about the tailgates and Daisy Dukes and lifted trucks and all that stuff. But yeah, I guess that's definitely those much more of the clientele. I was about to go off on a tangent. I was literally had to just pull the reins in to stop myself from just talking about something completely unrelated to the video of this beer. This is a good beer. It's not as hazy. It's not like a New England hazy. You know those ones that look like Tang? It's like you can't even see. You can kind of see through it. So it's not as. And I didn't. There's no residue at the bottom. I didn't do a swish and pour. It's not as hazy as you might think when you think of a hazy. This is not much different than a strong IPA. That's what I consider it. So it's a good product. The only other Bee's Knees product I've had is here in town, Katie's Barbecue. They have a wheat beer that's from Bee's Knees, and it's pretty good. It reminds me a lot of Boulevard. It's kind of in the 4-ish something percent range ABV wise. It's not like a strong. It's just a very mild, hazy wheat beer. Hazy just means it's not fully filtered. And it was really good. It's refreshing, and they had it on draft, so they must, the distributor has ties to it, or the restaurant themselves is able to pick up some kegs, maybe from that restaurant in Versailles, which from where I am, it's about 45 minutes away. Excuse me. So you can either go down 65 Highway to 52 and hit the Coal Camp Junction and take it east, and that'll take you to Versailles. It takes you a little while to drive to a lot of small towns. Or you can take 50 Highway, like you're heading to Jefferson City, and get off on either M or 135. That'll take you to Stover, and then you get on at 52 from there. Or you can go all the way to Syracuse, take P Highway or something like that. P or D, I can't remember. And you take it all the way to 52, just outside of Versailles. There's many different ways to get there, but still it's like 45 minutes. If you're doing the speed limit, you could probably get there faster if you really wanted to. Don't encourage that. Get yourself hurt, get other people hurt, or get yourself a ticket. You don't want to do that. But yeah, Bee's Knees Brewing Company, pretty cool. I think it's awesome when a small, 2015. Yeah, you're probably on the cusp of still thriving. They may have had a hard time during the pandemic, but given the area that they lived in, there's probably not a whole lot of people that abided by the pandemic recommendations, I guess you could say. So, they may have had no problem. They may have, no in-person eating for a short period of time, but it may not have been long. Be like, you know what, just if you don't feel comfortable, don't take it to go. If you feel comfortable, come on in, Yeah, I highly recommend this. I'm really glad that I was able to pick this up. And I would, honestly, I would pick it up again. I think it's that good. It kind of reminds me of a regular Voodoo Ranger, like 7%. This is only 6, so a little milder version. That's kind of what it reminds me of. The oily hoppiness that's sitting on my tongue right now, that's what it's telling me. Kind of very reminiscent of a New Belgium, so maybe that's what they were going for. If anybody is familiar, this is kind of a niche product, so you have to be probably from Missouri, central Missouri even, to have access to this. If you're ever driving through that area, go ahead and check it out. Obviously, apparently they tout their pizzas. I don't know if they're like a normal slice pizza or if they're tavern style. We got a place here in town called Fitters that I've talked about many times. They do theirs tavern style, so it's kind of like Domino's, or if you're from St. Louis, Emo's Pizza, where it's cut into little squares, and they use that like Provel cheese, which is, it's either you love it or you hate it. I don't mind it. The crust isn't as crispy as I'd like when it comes to that tavern style, but it's because it's so loaded. The crust is so thin, and they load it down with toppings. So I don't know. I'd have to look at Bee's Knees website what kind of pizza it is. It could be more of a normal, just 9-cut pie you know, or 8-cut pie, whatever. And maybe it's really good. I'll have to try it out. I cannot give a testament to that, but I can give a testament to the spirit, and I like it. And I appreciate you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys later.